Welcome in, everybody. It's the
downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Go! 30 base. Not sweetheart.
Throwing on first down. Pritchett. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Off the edge, the sack by Reggie Ragland. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Back to throw. Pritchett. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now, when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Rodgers now on first down. Making the catch is Sternberger. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. To throw, it's Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
50, plant.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 42-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Get it.
Looking to throw. Pritchett. And he slings one that's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On 3rd down, Pritchett. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Packers now to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. They'll try and run for it with Jones. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
General West.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Pritchett. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That's the end of the first quarter.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
61, matchbox lights. Kill. Hit it.
From the gun, Pritchett steps away to his left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Back to throw. Pritchett. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On second down now, it's Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. On second down, Johnson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
I'm going to run you over. Kill. 6-6, pull it high. 59. Check. 59. You get it.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. He's got his man, T.J. Hawkinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Now a first carry for their fullback. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Za'Darius Smith picks up his second sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. On 4th down, Pritchett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Tackle made by the 3rd-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker. 2nd and 5 now. Rodgers, and that's complete to Adams. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now a first down carry by Jones. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On second down, it's Jones. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now it's Chris Boswell on for the field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Boswell's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Pritchett. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they go.
Looking to throw. Pritchett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Pritchett. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back work
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. There he goes, right side. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Well, when both guys went up for the ball, I just thought, who's going to come down with it? I didn't think he'd come down with it and then take it all the way for a touchdown.
That's battling, isn't it? Because normally, if both guys go up for it and come down with it, the tie goes to the offense. The defensive player didn't want it to be a tie at all. He wanted a little bit more, took it, and went the other direction.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now.
59 mark, 59 mark. Check, 59. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
2nd and 1. Flush to it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final shot before break. Pritchett, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you, and it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
Flushed out right. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They go play action here on first down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Pritchett. Johnson's got it complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
James has got it. Complete. And he He's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. The quick slant caught. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Off play action. Pritchett toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This is caught. And he is not going to be able to get away as they swarm him for a loss shy of the goal line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A big run there by Jones. 49 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st down, Jones. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like...
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now.
360 outlaw. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Five.
Off the play fake. Pritchett. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. Pritchett. He's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hockenson. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. Looking to throw. Pritchett. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Intercepted all day, baby. Yeah. 319. 40. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They'll run on first down. Jones. Mike Ford in on the tackle. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jared Davis. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Still's the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. To throw again. Pritchett. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. He's at the 30. 10. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Let's go, dude.
Off play action. Pritchett. Open man is Samuel. Complete.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And now here's another interception. Kevin King with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll go again to Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On first down, Pritchett. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13. back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey. You got three. Three down.
Now. Off the play fake. Pritchett. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Off play action. Pritchett. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. There he goes left side. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem. Yeah. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Pritchett. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. On fourth down, Pritchett. Aguilar has it. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Off the play fake. Pritchett under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And now here is another interception. Kevin King with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it with Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones, and he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off play action. Pritchett. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
50, plant. Check, 59. Rip right. Ready.
To throw on 2nd down. Pritchett. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Packers pick it up. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find it?
Going the other way.
Touchdown, Lions.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on.